Hey guys, today I have a very exciting task. I'm packing for an international trip and I'm going to show you guys kind of how I pack my photography gear. But before I tell you where I'm going and what gear I'm taking, I need to tidy the studio up. So I'll go ahead and do that and then tell you where I'm going on my trip. This is much better. I just finished filming, so I had a lot of stuff everywhere from my last video. But what I need to do now is get packed for my upcoming trip to Botswana. I'm going to Botswana, Africa for a mountain biking trip. But while I'm there, I'm going to have a lot of opportunities to take photos as well. So I'm going to be getting a list together of which gear I want to take. And since this isn't a 100% photography trip, I'm going to have to make some, choices as to what I take so I don't have too much gear with me. But I still want to take some stuff so that I can get some good shots in between the biking. We're going to see animals like elephants, giraffes if we're lucky, and just beautiful landscape. So lots of great opportunities. I think I'm also going to have a good opportunity for some astrophotography. So I'm going to pack things in that regard. But my main goal is going to be as minimal and simple as possible. But as you guys know, that still means a good chunk of gear. So I'm going to go ahead and make a list on my computer and then use that list to pull out some items for my studio shelves and then get everything packed. So I'm going to be checking a bag with all of my biking gear and my clothes, any of my larger toiletries, but those carry-on items need to be my photography gear and all the stuff to keep me occupied and freshened up for 16 hours on the plane ride over. All right, let me start with that list. So I make lists for everything. It's the only way I remember how to do anything. I make a list for the simplest of tasks all the way up to complex things. And sometimes I write it down. Sometimes I use Notion. Sometimes I use my Apple Notes app. It really doesn't matter, but I do recommend kind of thinking through what you're going to want to do and what you might need. So hopefully you don't forget any of the little stuff like I often would if I didn't make a list, like chargers, batteries, etc. So having a list can kind of help you sort all of that out ahead of time. Alright, so now I've got my list and I try to narrow it down as much as I possibly can for the type of gear that I'm going to want to take, and primarily the areas I need to make some cuts of what I would usually want to bring. Say if it was like a road trip, is camera bodies. So instead of bringing the two that I usually bring, I'm going to just bring one, my Sony camera, and then the other big concession is going to be with lenses. So I'm going to make a few calls on lenses, still deciding, but let's go ahead and start grabbing out the gear, get it all sorted out here on the table, and then start to get it organized and packed up in the bags. So some of these things are going to go into like my carry-on, like I said, and not really have to do with photography gear. But I'll go over those things too because maybe they're helpful for you guys when you're doing an international trip. But let's do the camera stuff first. So first on the list, most important, is the camera. I'm filming with the actual camera I'm going to bring, but I'll go ahead and just put this one out as a reminder. This camera died last year and I use it just as a demo body now. But yeah, so I'll pack that camera when I'm done filming this video. But I'm bringing my Sony camera only. It's going to be really versatile, get all the shots that I want. With that camera, I'm going to take my two Sony batteries. So I have one here on the charger, one in the camera. So I'll also have that one. All right, so a little chaotic, but we'll keep the stuff over here for now of what we're taking. Camera, batteries, need the charger for the Sony camera, which I was looking for it. It's attached to the battery, but it also has the cable. So cable with this, gonna be in that accessory pouch by the end of this video and ready to go. next up are my SD cards. So I'm gonna take 4 128 gig cards, and that should be chill for my 10-day trip, but you never know. My Sony camera holds 2 cards at a time, so there's 2 in the camera right now, and then 1 is offloading on my computer. All right, so next up, lens choices. This is like the hardest decision, and I've honestly been thinking about it for a month, but my decision is made and I'm gonna stick with it. I want to get animal shots while I'm there, right? I want to see beautiful elephants, giraffes, any type of wildlife that Botswana has to offer. But I do not want to carry this and travel with this. So what I did is about a month or 2 ago is I purchased this lens and I love it. So this big boy here is my absolute favorite. This is a 200 to 600 and I don't know what the weight officially is on it. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. But it's heavy and it's cumbersome and it's large. And this, even though the body doesn't seem like it's that much smaller, is half the weight and just a lot more agile. And so this here is the 70 to 200. This is going to be great. I'm going to have some beautiful shots with this one. So we'll see you on the next one. Sorry you can't come. All right, put this one over here. And then I thought about taking a macro lens or an 80mm for astrophotography, but it's just too much, so I've had to tone it down, and I'm just gonna bring a nifty 50. I'm gonna be able to do pretty much all of the photography I wanna do with that 70 to 200. And then we're just walking around, and I wanna be easy breezy, light, minimal. The nifty 50 is gonna be wonderful. And the 50 that I have is the 1.8, so we're gonna be good to go. I'm also gonna be bringing my iPhone. So honestly, I'm gonna be on my bike most of this trip, and we're gonna be putting in a lot of miles every day, going across this beautiful countryside. So I'm gonna be taking this with me on the bike, and I'm gonna be getting a lot of photos with that as well. And we all know how good the iPhone can do. So excited for that too. Next on my list is my tripod. So I did decide to bring my compact tripod because I want to try to do some astrophotography, but it's already packed in my checked bag. So I'm not going to get that. I have a different pair of sticks on my camera that I'm filming with, but the one that I bring with me is my Ulanzi tripod. I've shown it in videos before. It's already packed in that checked bag. So we're going to leave it where it is. And then next is going to be my camera strap, which is somewhere around here. Okay, so bringing my Peak Design camera strap, my absolute favorite camera strap. And then what I've made sure before is that anything I'm bringing has the connector pieces already attached to it. So some of my extra things just for me on the plane are going to be, some of the most important ones are going to be these chargers. So to keep all of my stuff going, honestly, most importantly, my cell phone, because it's like the safety device, the navigation device, my plane tickets, all the stuff, right? But then also my camera, my potentially iPad or computer, we shall see. But I have these devices to be able to keep things charged all the time. And each of these things I'm going to show you is from Anker. So what I have here is a fast Anker charger, wall outlet adapter, I guess. And so this has USB-C and USB. And so anywhere I go, I'll have this with whatever cables I need plugged into the devices, right? Additionally, because I'm going to Africa, I will be plugging this voltage converter adapter into the outlet types for the area that I'll be in. So let me grab those real quick, actually. It's a good reminder. All right, so since I'm traveling to Africa, I'll be plugging this into the different type of outlet converters that I need. But yeah, where I'm going, I've been told, is types D, G, and M. So I have those here, for example, and my plan of what I'll do when I get there is pretty much everything will route through this Anker hub, plug into the adapter needed for the African outlets, and then my devices will plug into here. So this is super nifty. And what I use this to charge also are my 2 backup bricks. It's 2023. If you don't have backup bricks, I don't know what you're doing. This one is just a backup brick by Anker to be able to plug USB-C or USB into and charge any of my devices. I use this all the time. I can get like 4 full iPhone charges off of it. And then this charger is my new favorite. It actually is MagSafe charger. So my iPhone has a MagSafe case, MagSafe charger, bam. Stays on it, automatically starts charging it, and it has this flip out little stand. So, you know, we're all impatient while we're charging, we can watch our shows. So I absolutely love this one, and I'm gonna have both of these fully charged, ideally throughout the trip. Anytime they get down and I'm by an outlet, I'm gonna charge them back up so that when I'm away from the outlets, I can keep my camera and my phone charged up. I have a little pouch for this big brick, and then what I've done is just kept 2 of my most used charging cables. So that's a lightning cable to charge my iPhone and my earbuds, and then this is a USB-C cable to charge a whole lot of other stuff. And so these 2 cables, just to keep it really easy for myself, are small and stay in this little bag so that this is ready to go. All right, and so as far as like personal items, what I'm not going to show you guys is I'm packing like a toiletry bag, right? So I'm going to have basically my main toiletries: toothbrush, toothpaste, face wash, body wipes, right? I'm also going to have a small change of clothes, but the stuff that I will show you here, and I'm not showing that because it's already packed and it's tied up. So what I am going to show you here is the other personal items I'm going to bring in my camera bag and in my tote bag that I'll be carrying. And that's going to be just a couple extra snack bars. These are just grain-free snack bars, easy on the stomach, and you know, need them when you're flying. I'm going to bring my Kindle, and probably beyond my Kindle and my iPad the most, or my laptop, can't decide. But I'm going to bring my Kindle and load up a couple books ahead of time. The battery on these things are amazing, so it's probably going to be charged my entire trip. I'm going to bring my Apple earbuds. I love using them, but I don't know how people use them more than 20 minutes. They kill my ears after a time. So I'm going to have them with me. I'm not sure totally why, because I feel better just packing them, I suppose. But what I'm going to use the whole time are my Bose over-ear noise canceling headphones. And I don't usually travel with these because they are bigger, but for a 16-hour flight, you bet I'm bringing these. And I'm not actually they're not actually in here right now because they're being used right now to monitor on my camera that I'm filming with, just sitting there idly while I film this. All right. And then I got this, which is a little weird looking, I know. It's a new age travel pillow. So bear with me. If you want to sleep on the plane, this is what the people say now is what you should do. It's something like this. You put it on like a neck brace. Whoop. And then wrap it around tight. You can position this brace part wherever you would be like zomping to the side. And I'm telling you, I can see how people are gonna look, but I can also see how I could maybe get a little bit more sleep with this. And honestly, the reason I went with this is because it folds up, you know, like this, pretty tiny, versus all those other pillows. And because I'm going on a mountain bike trip, I really want to show up feeling good and rested. All right, so I feel good about all this. I do have 2 days before my trip, so if I forgot anything, I'll be able to hopefully catch it before then. But let's go ahead and just get all of this organized and packed into my camera backpack. And I guess before we do that, let me show you my camera backpack, see what we're working with. So this is my camera backpack, but it's by Case Logic, and essentially it's the 2022 version of the Case Logic bag that I got first in college. And that bag, when I got it in, I don't know, 2010, lasted me until 2022. So I have faith that this bag, which is built even better, is going to last me for a long time. So the thing I love about this bag is you flip open the back to load everything in. So I'm just going to take a minute and start kind of getting everything in here, and then I'll show you guys what that looks like. Oh, hey, there's my sticker from Park Cities. Gotta put that somewhere. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna leave it for tonight. I know it's not fully packed yet, but I'll follow up with you guys as soon as it is and show you kind of what that looks like. But this is kind of the first pass at getting everything together. Hey guys, so it is now the day before the trip and I have finished packing everything. So my checked bag is finished. It has all my biking gear, helmet, etc. And then my photo bag here, I'll show you guys a view of what that looks like, keeping in mind that I do have those toiletries, personal items in here, as well as the photography gear. And so the second carry-on I'm going to take is this hip pack here. This has my kind of most crucial, unreplaceable items. And then I did finally make a decision between a laptop or iPad, and I'm going with the iPad. I don't know why I always forget that you can do pretty much all the things I was complaining about not being able to do. I'll be able to edit photos on here if I want on the way back, be able to watch all my shows. I can pretty much access everything I want. So iPad's going to be perfect for the trip and a lot lighter and slimmer profile to keep me entertained. Photo-wise, the two adjustments I've made since I last talked to you guys was I've added 2 more SD cards. So I think that brings it to a total of 6 SD cards, 128 gigs each. This is way more than I think I'm going to need, but I just feel like it's always smarter to buffer the SD cards a bit, especially because I do want to take advantage of shooting some 4K video clips when I can. Like if I see animals, I want to get some photos, but also some 4K clips. And those 4K clips are going to drain those SD cards a lot faster. So I just feel a little bit better having more than I'm going to need. So I have 6 128 gig SD cards. And so the last piece of camera gear I didn't mention before that I'll be taking is my little remote. I use this for video to be able to start and stop the camera by myself, but I also use it to minimize shake on the camera when I'm doing photos, like especially astrophotography. So when I'm doing any astrophotography in Botswana, I'll set the camera up on the tripod and I'll use this remote to fire the camera so that I can just avoid any additional shake on the camera. I can't wait to tell you all about the trip when I get back and hopefully have some really cool photos to share with you. I'm hoping to be able to do a video editing some of these photos so we can walk through Lightroom together and also look at some cool photos and do some basic editing together. But yeah, until then, hope you guys are doing well, and thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. But I hope you have a great day. Bye.